What's up guys, it's Alex of Crazy Table Gaming here, and I have another profile for you. This time it's Fluffals. This list is for the April 2020 format coming up with Master Roll 5 or 4.5, whatever you're calling it. So it's not, you can still play this list right now. It's just not as potent as it will be in April, but it's still really fun, really cool combo deck that can spam summon out a bunch of fusions in one turn and OTK with. So let's get right into it. The first monster we play is 3 Fluffal Dog. When it's normal or special summoned, you can add another Fluffal or Edgem Sabers from your deck to your hand. You need to play 3 of them. It's your main combo starter as far as monsters go, and it can add anything you need. The next one we play is 3 Fluffal Bear. You can send this one from your hand to the graveyard and set 1 Toy Vendor from the deck to the spell and trap zone, so it gets around the Ash Blossom since you're not adding it to hand. And the next one we play is 2 Fluffal Wings. You want this in graveyard as quickly as possible. It's normally the one you're going to be discarding off of Toy Vendor, because when it's in the graveyard and you have Toy Vendor on the field, you banish this and one other Fluffal monster from the grave, and you draw 1 card, pop Toy Vendor, and draw another card. Next card we play is 2 Fluffal Penguin. We are playing a combo that lets you go into Totally Awesome. So I played 2 instead of just 1 now. And in your main phase, when you have this on the field, you can special summon another Fluffal monster from hand, as long as it's not another penguin. And also when it's fusion summoned for a Frightful Fusion, you get to draw 2 cards and discard 1. So it's another discard outlet for Wings, and it'll let you dig deeper into your deck for your combo pieces. And then for our 1 of Fluffal monsters, we play 1 Cat, 1 Sheep, and 1 Owl. Cat, when it's sent to the graveyard as a fusion material, it will let you add a polymerization from your graveyard back to your hand. Sheep, if you control a Fluffal monster other than another sheep, you can special summon this from your hand. And you can return 1 other Fluffal monster that you control back into your hand to special summon 1 Edgem from your hand or graveyard. And then Owl acts as a polymerization. And when it's normal or special summoned, you can search for a polymerization from your deck and add it to your hand. You can pay 500 life points and fusion summon a Frightful monster from the extra deck with monsters in the hand or field, so it can be used as a polymerization. But normally I just normal it to search for 1. And then for our Edgem monsters, we play 1 Saber and 3 Edgem Chain. There are a bunch of ways inherently that the deck searches out Sabers, so I don't play more than 1, and he can recur himself, putting 1 card from your hand onto the top of your deck, which goes well with Toy Vendor. And Edgem Chain, when it's used as a Frightful Fusion material, you can add any Frightful card from deck to hand. And then for our non-Fluffal or Edgem monsters, I play 2 Ash Blossom, 2 Nibiru, and 2 Drolin Lock. Sometimes the Drolin Lock is swapped out for Effect Veiler or for Ghost Ogres, and usually I'll swap out the during game 2 I'll side out Ash Blossoms for Effect Veilers. Nibiru I usually keep in both of these, if not add a 3rd one. And then for our spells, play 3 Toy Vendor. Once per turn, it's a soft once per turn effect where you can discard a card, draw a card, and if it's a Fluffal monster, you can special summon 1 monster in your hand. It doesn't have to be a Fluffal monster, the one that you're special summoning. It could be an Edgem. But if it's not a Fluffal monster, you discard whatever you drew. But when you use it after stacking your deck with Edgem Sabers, it almost always will go off. If this card is sent to the graveyard, you can add 1 Edgem Sabers or Fluffal monster from your deck to your hand. So Fluffal Wings effect. And the way that combo works is you'll banish Wings and another one, draw 1, pop this, and then you get this search and you draw another card. For our fusions, we play 3 Polymerization, 2 Instant Fusion, and 1 Frightful Fusion. The 2 Instant Fusions are for the combo to get out Totally Awesome and for Thousand Eyes Restrict. And then the Frightful Fusion I only play 1 of because it's a searchable target and it doesn't come up enough for me to want the second one. Usually it's an OTK deck, so usually you're trying to win on your first turn that you're playing. So the second one doesn't come up as often. And then we play 3 Frightful Patchwork, add 1 Edgem monster and 1 Polymerization from your deck to your hand. You can only use 1 per turn, which kind of sucks, but the searching for the edge imp is what the deck really needed to boost it, and now that we're going into Master Rule 5, it's going to help a lot. And then we play 3 Called by the Grave. We really don't want our combos interrupted. There's a couple really critical choke points that if they get hit with Ash Blossom or a Droll Lock, it'll shut you down for the turn. So we max out on these. And then for the last 2 cards to bring it to 40, play 1 Foolish Burial to get Wings Engrave and 1 Monster Reborn so we can get another target out to bring out Wolf, or another Fluffal for Tiger effect to pop more cards on field. And then for the extra deck, play 2 Fright for Tiger. When this card is fusion summoned, you can target a card on the field up to the number of fusion materials used for its fusion summon and destroy them. And then all Fright for monsters you control gain 300 attack for each Fluffal and Fright for monster you control. You can only control one of him, but sometimes I'll get rid of him and I'll use him to fuse off for another Fright for fusion, so I like to have the second as a backup for after. And he's really good for clearing boards, along with the 2 Fright for Kraken. Fright for Kraken, once per turn you can target 1 monster your opponent controls and send it to the graveyard. So while it is targeting removal, it is non-destruction. And it can't attack directly the turn that is activated. But if you don't activate that effect, it can then attack twice during the battle phase, and then it changes itself to defense. And then we play 2 Fright for Sabretooth. When it's fusion summoned, you can target 1 Fright for monster in your graveyard and special summon it. And if you use 3 material for its fusion summon, it can't be destroyed by battle or by card effects. And that's a permanent thing, it's not just for the turn it's summoned. And while this is on the field, all Fright for monsters you control gain 400 attack. So usually you'll go with, the next one we play is Sheep. You'll go into Sheep, use Sheep to Fright for fuse into Sabretooth, and then Sabretooth brings Sheep back with a boosted attack. And Sheep, when this card attacks or is attacked, your opponent can't activate cards or effects until the end of the damage step. And if this is destroyed by battle or by your opponent's card effect, you can special summon this card and it gains an additional 800 attack. You can only use that effect once per turn, and the attack doesn't stack, but it does stack the 800 with the 400 you gain off of Sabretooth and the 300 per monster off of Tiger. And then the last Fright for we play is Fright for Wolf. He's your main OTK enabler. When he's summoned, he can be summoned with any amount of Fluffal monsters. For however many Fluffal monsters was used for his summon, he can attack up to that many times per turn. So with the attack boost off of Tiger and Sabretooth, he's usually just an auto win button. And then for our Link monsters, we play 1 Cross Sheep. This is the best indirect support that has come out for Fluffals. When you fusion summon to an arrow, or when you fusion summon to a zone that these arrows point to, you can special summon 1 level 4 lower monster in your graveyard. Or for our Ixie, we do run 2 Ixies that we play. All your opponent's monsters lose 700 attack and defense, but that effect's not nearly as important as the fusion one. And for the other 2 links we play 1 Link Karibo and 1 Boral Sword. Link Karibo is here so we can get rid of Thousand Eyes Restrict, or we could use Cat for it, but normally it's just the Thousand Eyes Restrict target. And then Boral Sword Dragon, if you need to make it, it's a hard OTK enabler. It's hard for opponents to out, because once per turn, it can target 1 attack position monster, change it to the defense, and make a second attack. And then your opponent can't activate cards in response to that effect's activation, so it just happens. And then his other effect is when he declares an attack, he gains that monster's attack that he's attacking, and that monster loses half its attack. And then our 2 instant fusion targets play Thousand Eyes Restrict to just suck up whatever problematic card is on the field, and Mud Dragon because it lets us go into Bahamut Shark with Penguin, and that gets us into Totally Awesome, our 15th card in the extra deck. If you're forced to go first, usually you're going to try and end your board on a Totally Awesome and a Kraken and Cross Sheep. And then for the side deck, I play a 3rd copy of Ash, 3rd copy of Nibiru, and a 3rd copy of Droll and Lockbird. Usually I'm taking out the Ash for the Droll and Lock and the other Nibiru if I need it. And then we play 2 copy of Ghost Ogre and Snow Rabbit. It's still a pretty decent card against Salamangreat and against Guru. I enjoy it still. I only played it 2 because the deck space is already tight enough in Fluffals. There's not a whole lot you can take out other than your other hand traps. It's kind of difficult to do sideboard game 2 and game 3, but most of the time you don't need both Ash Blossom and Draw and Lock. So I'll take one of those out for him. And then next we have 3 Effect Veiler. You want to go second, so if you lose game 1, you go second, side these in, try and stop them on their turn. And then 2 Gamma Seal to get rid of problematic monsters. 2 Cosmic Cyclone. I like it better than Twin Twister because the only card I really want to discard is Wings, and I have enough in deck discard outlets. So I play Cosmic Cyclone for spell and trap removal. And the last card I play in the side deck is 3 Mystical Space Typhoons, just for more spell and trap removal. The hardest matchup I have right now is with Altergeist and Guru Control. So this is mainly to help with that at my locals. Your side deck's got to kind of be tailored to whatever you're facing at the time and what's at your locals or what you think you're going to see at a regional event. But for right now, this is what's been working for me with my build. Alright, that's it for this deck profile, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please consider giving it a thumbs up and subscribing. And I'll see you next time.